Unfortunately, Whirlwind is not all unicorns and rainbows. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of Figure Focus, where I, SCL Matt, focus on the figures of one character in the Skylanders franchise. This week, Whirlwind. This unicorn dragon will not disappear quietly into the night. She got a slow start in Spyro's adventure. For a while, her Series 1 figure was the only figure available, but it won't be long before she's joined by a few friends and gets treated to some of the best variant paint jobs around. In Giants, we get Series 2 Whirlwind along with Polar Whirlwind, and the Chase variant, Stone Whirlwind. I've never actually ranked them all, but these two variants could potentially be in my top 10. Moving on to Year 3, we got Series 3, or Hornblast Whirlwind. But that wasn't the only Whirlwind figure we got in Year 3. I know some of you probably thought that I missed something in Year 1, but here's the story. If you watched the Figure Focus video for Camo, you've likely heard this story before, so here's the short version. Back in 2013, Activision made a deal with LG, the television and electronics company. This deal was only available in Europe, but if you purchased select LG smart TVs, you could also get this brand new exclusive Skylanders Battleground starter pack. I hope whoever closed this deal got a raise, because honestly, I don't think this makes any sense at all. In any case, these starter packs did not contain the same figures as all the other Battleground starter packs. Instead, they contained 3 random Spyro's Adventure single packs. But they decided to spice things up a bit and created not 1, but 2 brand new Spyro's Adventure Chase variants. The first was red camo, but there was also a clear Whirlwind. So inside each of these alternate Battleground starter packs, you had a chance to find one of these variants. We'll talk more about what that means for rarity in a minute, but let's get through the rest of Whirlwind's figures first. Finally, in Year 4, we get the Eon's Elite Whirlwind and the now infamous Breeze, one of the new minis they created that was based on Whirlwind. Now we're at the end of the list. That's a good number of Whirlwinds. So let's get to the rarity check and find out how long it'll take you to complete this collection. Much like Drill Sergeant, Whirlwind also began as a timed store exclusive. The difference? Whirlwind was exclusive to Target instead of Walmart, like Drill Sergeant. When we got to Wave 3, Whirlwind was released in a single pack as well as a triple pack in all stores. This dual release ensured that there are plenty of Whirlwinds to go around, and nowadays, it's not hard to find. Series 2 Whirlwind was released in a single and triple pack. Both of these were available immediately in Wave 1, meaning they got maximum distribution. Also not hard to find. Series 3 Whirlwind got a little bit trickier. It technically got both a single and triple pack release, but there are some distribution issues. In Wave 3, there were 5 new core Skylanders being released for the first time. However, only 2 of these 5 were brand new Series 1 characters. They gave these new figures priority and subsequently short-packed the other 3 figures. But to make matters worse, they also included 2 figures in this wave as replenishment. Let me break this down a little bit more for you. Core Skylanders are shipped in cases of 12 single packs. Oftentimes, if there are only 4 figures being released, they will distribute them evenly, including 3 of each figure in each case. However, with 5 new figures being released, these numbers need to shift. As I said, they gave priority to the new characters, so Dunebug and Smolderdash still receive 3 spots each in the case. That leaves us with 6 spots left for Cinder, Prism Break, and Whirlwind. Simple math would dictate that each figure would get 2 spots. However, they also chose to use this wave to supplement some of the new characters that were released in Wave 1 that may have sold out by now. So they included 1 Zulu and 1 Countdown figure in each Wave 3 case. This just left 4 spots for 3 characters. They gave 2 spots to Cinder and just 1 spot each for Prism Break and Whirlwind. So for every case of Wave 3 figures that a store would order, just 1 Hornblast Whirlwind would make it to the shelf. Can you see how that might cause some problems? Well, what about triple packs? Wouldn't they alleviate some of the distribution problems? Theoretically, they could, but only if the stores order them. By Wave 3, stores had more than they could handle. There were starter packs, swappers, single packs, triple packs, battle packs, adventure packs, all from Wave 1 and 2. This was more different pack types than they'd ever put out in a single year before. In addition, the space allotted for Skylanders in most stores was cut in half because Disney Infinity had just released and they wanted just as much attention. By the time we got to Wave 3, many stores didn't want or have room for additional triple packs. My recent warehouse find supports this even further. These triple packs were just sitting in the warehouse for 8 years untouched. Well, Hornblast Whirlwind is certainly getting easier to find now. That wasn't the case when it was first released. Eon's Elite Whirlwind doesn't really have a tale to tell. It's just like all the other Eon's Elite figures we've addressed. It It was part of the first wave of Eon's Elite, so it can be a little bit tougher to find now, but still not too difficult. Polar Whirlwind was a GameStop exclusive figure. Store exclusive figures typically aren't difficult to find, but this one definitely felt more rare than your standard exclusive from Walmart, Target, or Toys R Us. I'm not sure if they produced fewer of them or if it was poor distribution on GameStop's end, but even today, this figure can be a bit of a struggle to find. Stone Whirlwind. For how many Series 2 Whirlwind figures are out there, I'm very surprised that we don't see more Stone Whirlwind figures on the market. In my opinion, this is one of the toughest chase variants to find of any figure. With that being said, the last two figures we have to cover have also been known to cause a lot of fits for collectors. The mini, Breeze, is small, cute, and innocent until you see her price tag. What's going on here? Well, this is one of those perfect storm type of figures. There are a number of factors that can play into making a figure more expensive, which typically correlates with their rarity. First, poor distribution. By the time you get to Wave 4 and Wave 5 of any game, stores are purchasing fewer and fewer cases of product. This problem was compounded during Trap Team by all the different character types that were offered. The game heavily favored the trap masters themselves along with the traps to round out their gimmick. The core Skylanders were put on the back burner, but not completely forgotten, as they were what got this franchise started. The minis, on the other hand, were all but forgotten. Unless you wanted a cute version of your favorite character, or you were a collector who needed one of everything they produced, you really had zero incentive to buy the minis. This meant that they sat on shelves and the stores had no reason to buy future late wave minis. So with Breeze being released in Wave 4, she was already off to a bad start. While Breeze is technically just a smaller version of Whirlwind, the new name made her feel like a new character. New characters almost always sold better than old, rehashed, reposed characters. In addition to being new, Breeze was also a female character. While this might not seem like a big deal to some, it was a huge deal for others. The Skylanders franchise was notoriously bad at including female characters in the game. Of the original 32 Skylanders in Spyro's Adventure, just 5 of them are female. And honestly, that ratio didn't improve much over the years. So whenever a female character was introduced to the roster, it definitely got a bit more attention. Finally, gameplay. Some people are just into Skylanders to collect, but many of them play the game as well. So if a character plays well in the game, that could add to its popularity as well. Whirlwind, or Breeze, isn't necessarily on the top of the list for players, but she's far from the bottom. So if you combine the facts that Breeze was a new female character that plays well in the game, it's going to drive up demand. Take into account the limited supply because of the distribution issues, and boom, prices will skyrocket. Even with all that though, Breeze doesn't even come close to being the rarest Whirlwind figure in the collection. Clear Whirlwind definitely takes that title. It was only in Europe. It was only in an alternate Battleground starter pack. It was not guaranteed to be in the starter pack. It required the purchase of a TV. The worst part of this is the majority of people who actually got their hands on these starter packs often didn't know what Skylanders was. Therefore, they didn't know it was a unique pack. They didn't know they had the possibility of finding a rare figure. And those who got the rare figures had no way of knowing how rare it was. It's not like it was marked as a special limited edition figure. It just looked like another cheap piece of plastic. With that in mind, Clear Whirlwind is the second most expensive Skylanders figure that I've ever seen sell. So when it comes to Whirlwind, there's not only a lot of figures, but a lot of rarity problems to deal with as well. Happy hunting!